Yes. Okay, good.
I
Mine had
did it.
like a slight moment there where it needed to think for a hot second, but I think we're good.
I think both of us are going to have that moment where we need to think for a hot
It's not
second
just my
today.
computer, it's also us.
It's
Well,
the
I
day.
received an alert when I was starting up my computer and everything, like to get all set up for this. It was like, you're due for like an update. And I'm like, you're due to go fuck yourself because there's no way in hell I'm about to start that whole shit right now.
I am one of those people that literally, every time my computer says, it's time for an update, I'm like, delay,
Oh,
delay.
yeah, I'll delay that shit. Because it seems like every time I update it, then it starts to like, it's a downhill, it's all downhill from there. Like, as soon as I start rolling out the updates is when my computer starts shitting itself. It's all a
Yeah,
plot. I'm convinced
same.
it's all a plot. So, you know.
Yeah, so you buy new computers. It's just, you got to keep that
That's
thing
right.
rolling.
Welcome to the latest episode of Business Conspiracy. Here we are. Are you comfortable yet to do the intro, or do you want me to take it away?
No, I think I'm
Yes,
comfortable.
bitch, hit it.
So, okay, so hi everyone, welcome to back to Strange Town. Ooh, that
Didn't
felt so
that
good
feel
to
good?
say.
Yes.
It did.
Say your wait.
As per usual, all of our socials will be.
Say your
Oh,
name.
oh crap, my bad. My name's
Okay,
Kellie.
and I'm Cassie. All right, now hit him with the social.
I effed all that up. My bad. I wasn't ready.
You did great. It was excellent.
Uh, anyways, as per usual, all of our socials are linked down below, including our merch. Please shop our merch, and new exciting things are coming
Shopala, our
soon.
merchula. Actually, when this comes out, we're already almost at mid-September, which means we've got probably some new merch for you. So go checkity chickity out
It's probably already been launched, so yeah, please check it out.
right in time for the spooka season.
The spooky season, the only way you're supposed to say
The
spooky.
spooka season. What if I did the whole episode just in that accent?
You know what? We should try.
I'm
We
gonna
should make it a
try it.
challenge one day. So what's going on?
Yes.
How's your week been?
My week's been fine. Let's see. We're doing much packing because in when we're recording this, there's only 2 weeks until we move. So it's like big packing energy, which is very exciting. Um,
Big packing energy, big change energy.
yeah,
Woohoo!
all of the fun changes, and I've started a new job at the same company I was at. It's just a new role, so that's exciting, and it's most excellent so far. And Corey and I decided there's a lot to unpack here. Corey and I decided to now that Stranger Things is like we're caught up and all done and everything until the final season, we're starting from the beginning. And we're only on the first season, and I have to say, like, as much as I love this show, like it was so much better. Like it used to be so much better, like when it first came out, and I'm sad.
I have to agree with you on that, and I feel like COVID had a big thing to F that up
Probably.
because I don't think they intended to have such a big
Yeah.
gap between season 3 and season 4, and I think that's where it kind of lost a little bit of its
Yeah, there's
spookalabookala
like so
magic.
much like mystery, and I just feel like there was like more passion behind the writing, and like the characters were like a little bit more dynamic and stuff. And then I do have to admit this, and I don't know where to begin with this, but I've decided that I'm weirdly attracted to Dr. Brenner, and we don't have enough time to unpack that, so we're just gonna leave that.
That's its own
that's,
episode.
that's perhaps the spookiest episode of Oddities of all.
You know what? That's just going to be a special edition.
that'll be our first. That'll be our first bonus episode back.
That'll be the first Patreon info. Oh God,
I don't. So
yes.
I don't know. Like I don't even want to begin touching that with a 12-foot pole. But I was sitting here watching it, and I was like, I'm getting like a little bit of Silver Fox energy, and I also know he's like a huge villain. So I really just like don't know. And I was just like, we're gonna stop thinking about it.
Yeah, we'll unpack that at a later time, there, bestie.
Nobody be concerned. So that's really.
It's fine.
I'm
She's
fine.
fine.
Everything's fine. It's fine. So, yeah. How's everything in your world? Hopefully, a little more normal than what just came out of my mouth.
I mean, it's been pretty good, this freaking heat wave. Because at this time, there's a heat wave. It's driving
Yeah.
me and my kids
Yeah.
crazy. But exciting news because I brought it up
Mhm.
last week
Mhm.
episode.
Mhm.
My parents got the doggy.
So exciting.
Yes, and they will get to bring him home this week, so that'll be
Oh,
really
good.
exciting, and it's adorable because my mom's doing all this research about raw feeding and this training method, and I'm like, you guys are
That's
adorable.
awesome.
It's like you have a newborn all
Yeah,
over
she's
again.
nesting. This is very exciting.
It's adorable. I love
Cool.
it. Oh, and kind of a funny thing that happened with my parents. So, they're business owners, and they have a factory or shop area, right? And my dad was closing up everything, and he saw something out of his eye, and he looked up, and he's like, "Is that a freaking rabbit
Oh?
in the shop?"
Oh.
And it was kind of just peculiar for
Yeah.
that area, right? So he gets in the car and he's telling my mom about it. So she looks at the cameras and he's like, it was a pretty big rabbit, I think. And she goes, "Nope, that's a big ass
Oh my
rabbit."
god, what if it's like a mythical jackalope? How exciting.
Maybe. Who knows? But so yeah, they have a shop rabbit now that they're trying to catch
That's
and
a-
release into a better area.
Yeah,
for
that's
it.
wild to me because like I feel like the shop, I mean, I don't know anything about their like shop or anything, but I would imagine like it's probably pretty noisy and like stuff like things that bunnies probably don't typically like.
Yeah, I mean it's
Yeah.
pretty. I mean, I barely like being in there, so
The daintiest rabbit of all.
too much
Yeah,
noise.
I love it.
So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for my exciting
That is
week.
exciting, though. Very cool. Oh, yeah, and by the time this comes out, I'll be on my final semester of school.
So exciting.
There's just so much happening this year. How exciting indeed. Oh, and I made some bacon for lunch, and that was tasty. Okay, now I'm caught up.
All right, love that. Can't go wrong with bacon.
Hell no. So we've got a very spookalabookala episode today.
Mm-hmm.
Mine is quite short. I mean, there's like a wee bit to it, but it's like good. Do you want to start? Did I start last time? Was it heavy last week? I can't remember what we did last week.
It was very heavy last week.
Okay,
you
yeah.
started and then I ended with revenge.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yes. Oh my God, my patron saint.
Oh my gosh, every photo I looked up of her was just, it got better and better and better.
I love the ones you sent to me. I was like, it just like solidified everything that I felt about that woman. I was like, she is perfect.
Yeah, spoiler alert, you may or may not be getting something for a housewarming gift that involves her.
God, yes. I'm gonna hang it in my office so that it's in the background. If it is a picture, I'm hanging it in my office so that the background is just that.
Just so that it peeps over your shoulder.
During all of my calls for work. Everybody needs to know the general vibe. I love it. I love that. Okay. So who would you like to, because you finished last week, do you want to start this week?
I feel like mine is a little bit long, so I'll go ahead and go first.
Hit
if
us.
That's okay?
Yes.
All right. So, I'm actually covering a topic in the place that, well, it's not the place that you grew up, but like the neck of the woods.
I love it. Good old Joyzy.
Yes, Joyzy. So, I'm covering 13 Bumps Road. It's a popular road in Watchung. Did I say that right? Because I already
Watchung,
forgot. Yeah.
you got it.
New Jersey.
You said it very like Karate Kid, I feel like. Watchung. I love it. I love it.
Its actual name is Johnston Drive. So let's jump into how Johnston Drive got its spookalabookala name.
Big spookalabookala times.
Well,
I'm so
it started
excited.
in 1845,
The good old days.
right? Way back then. When spookalabookala things happened. A man by the name of David Felt set out to build a small village near what is now the Watchung Reservation. He named the village Feltville after himself because,
That's
you know,
right
we're
on
not
par.
vain.
That's, yep.
After only 5 years, the town grew to over 175 residents. But over the span of the next 2 years, tragedy struck the village.
Uh-oh.
11 children were captured from the town, mutilated, and left for dead. Their bodies were
Oh.
always left near the outskirts of town, and the town began to, like, grow panic because of this. Like, why are the children going missing? Why is it always the outskirts of town? Why are they always, like, left for dead like this?
I get that. Yeah, for sure. This feels like The Village. Have you ever seen that movie?
Maybe it's based off of that. I didn't do that far into research.
From M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong. But then his is like a big, it's like a big twist. It's a big twist, and it's like actually in present. Well,
Oh
spoiler
wait,
alert.
I remember that. I remember that movie. The
Yeah, and it
second you
turns out
said
that there's
plot
just like
twist.
a like a cult or whatever. But yeah, anyway, sorry. Carry on. Carry on.
um, Most of the town believed that the attacks had to be animal related, so they sent the hunters out to in the forest to kill all of the bears and wolves and coyotes and any other carnivore animal. But the killings didn't stop.
Oh my.
Um, Families began to turn to one another, accusing civilians of the heinous crimes. They blamed the murders on devils and demons that couldn't be seen. The
Of
town
course.
eventually turned all of that focus on one family, a kindred of 13 sisters.
Oh, I do love that concept though.
The number 13.
We love it.
The 13 sisters lost both of their parents at a young age. Surprisingly, the 13 sisters whose age ranged from 10 to 26 were doing fine. They had a local crop field which blossomed each season, even through the most jarring weather. Residents took this as an omen and accused the family of witchcraft. They claimed that the witches sacrificed the children to the pagan gods for the good of their crops.
Of course, like you do.
Because, you know,
Good old
just can't have
agriculture.
good luck, right?
Right. Of course, yeah, that's the only way our crops can thrive. Sacrifice the children.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Nip, cut them loose.
After a long trial, the family was found guilty and hung. As a reminder of crimes, the bodies were buried on a local road, and it left 13 bumps under what is now Johnston Drive.
Oh my god.
Right?
Oh my god.
So this is where it kind of gets interesting.
Okay.
So, the rumor states that before the death, the girls put a curse on the village, one that would actually come true.
Oh god.
Karma or a curse, we don't know.
We just
Maybe
don't
a little
know.
bit of both. Over the next few years, illness and famine swept through those who remained, either died or deserted the town. Felt left before it got worse. He left in 1860, so he was there for 25 years.
I'm out.
And then he was like, things are a little too much. I think I falsely accused these women. I'm going to peace out. Yo. And he retired in New York, just stranding the villagers and just fend for yourselves.
What a tactic. I'll
Right?
try again in New York. Maybe it'll be better.
The things are already established in New York. I don't know what I was thinking. Today, some of those houses still remain, and the town goes by the Deserted Village. Have you ever heard of this place?
No, I mean I know of Watchung. We used to play them in football in high school, but I don't know this specific area. No, although I bet you it's in Weird New Jersey. Have you ever heard of that magazine?
Mm-mm.
So there's these guys, and then they spun it off and turned it into Weird US. And these dudes started this magazine called Weird New Jersey, and they went around and they found all these strange locations in New Jersey where all this crazy shit supposedly happened. They would write shit about it. It's anyway. We should. I mean, I'm from New Jersey. Might as well just pick up a copy and just go through all of it.
We might find some new topics in there.
I know for sure.
Johnson Drive has since been paved multiple times, but the bumps mysteriously reappear.
Ooh, spookalabookala.
Right? Some locals say that the bumps were used to slow down horses and buggies who were traveling downhill, but that doesn't explain why they would appear over and over again after being repaved multiple times.
Right. Wow.
People say if you drive over them very fast and then quickly turn around, you can see the sisters.
Oh my god, yes. I need to do it.
I don't know. I only saw a few situations regarding that, but spirit stories share that you must travel down the road going uphill and count out loud all 13 bumps at once, and once you reach the last bump, turn around because the 13 witches will be standing behind you. So don't go downhill, go uphill, count it out loud, and they will appear.
Wow.
And hopefully not curse you.
Hopefully not. I'm rooting for them though. I mean, let's be
They
real.
need justice.
Yeah, they do. So I mean, I'm all for it, but maybe don't curse me if I'm one of the idiots that tries this.
I don't know. I feel like founder of the town might have something to do with it. The children going missing.
Probably, yeah. So they never really solved.
Because, like, he just went boopity boop boop boop. I'm gonna
Yeah, and then
leave
he just
now.
like pieced out. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So they never really found an answer to the. Well, they found the answer they wanted on the children, but like,
Yeah, because, when in doubt, blame a witch.
blame the ladies. That's right. Blame those
Something's weird.
poor
It's
13
witchcraft.
women who were having really successful fucking crops and shit. Let's blame them. This all sounds, yep, right on
Yeah.
brand
And
for
then you killed
the
all
U.S.
of them, and the town went to crap. Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he did. I mean, that makes sense to me because he just like yippity skippity right on out of that.
Yippity skippity.
I'm the queen of rhyme.
I love that.
Well, I've done my deed. Time to adios on out of this bad boy and check out New York.
That's what it feels that way. Come on.
It does. It feels sketch-a-letch.
It's just, and then, like, maybe if I put all the bodies on the outskirts of town, no one will find them. You gotta do a little bit better. Come on now.
Yeah, just put up a sign. Oh, don't mind the bumpy road on the way in. It's just, the nature of things around here.
It's just how we roll. No big deal.
The 13 specific bumps. That's spooky.
I want to know how spaced out they are.
Yeah, like, how fast do we need to be counting? Like, is it like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Like, are they like, or do we have some paces in between?
Yeah.
Is it easy to miss one? Like, I mean, these are the things I need to know.
Because I would be disappointed if I missed one.
Well, yeah, I
only
mean, we just
12.
have to
I
turn
just have
that
to keep
baby
going
around.
up and down. And,
Just
gas prices these days.
and we can't afford to keep going around. We just can't. So
No.
that's wild.
Yeah, and that's the story of the 13 Bumps Road in Watchung, New Jersey.
Wachung! That's so cool. I can't believe that I've never heard of that. There's like a lot of areas actually right around where my parents live in New Jersey where there's some like crazy. I covered one of them a long while back about this like lady with a pig head. And I said I was gonna go drive that shit, and then I never did. So I guess on one of my trips.
Don't do
back,
it by
I need to do
yourself.
that. No, all right. I'll bring somebody with. I'll bring Donut with.
That's, yep,
That's
protector of the
the
spookalabookala things.
The ultimate killer. Yeah. Well, that was an awesome topic. I feel like I'm like a terrible New Jersey native that I hadn't heard of that shit.
In your defense, I'm going to say this. When I was making my wonderful list of all these topics, to cover for the next year, I didn't realize how haunted the county I grew up in was.
That makes me feel a little better. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like, well, California's got like so much like cool, crazy history too because of like the gold rush and like, I feel like there's a lot of like spookalabook, like ghost towns out your way versus my way. It's all like the colonials.
There is like, I'm learning more about like the ghost towns we have in our area and things that were related to, the big gold rush and all of that fun stuff. And that, will be covered in later episodes.
Stay tuned, kids.
Stay tuned. Come back for more.
Well, this is cool because I am covering a topic out in your neck of the woods. Well, kind of.
Oh, how cool are we?
I know. Such a wavelength.
We really did not plan that. I didn't know that. That's cool.
I know. We truly didn't. I mean, it's in California. I know you're not very close to this actual area of California, but say la vie. It's in the state. Oh, you definitely know it. Everybody knows this area. So, I... excuse me. I am covering the haunting of Grauman's Chinese Theater. Have you heard of the Chinese Theater in Hollywood?
Yeah, actually, I pass by it a lot when I go down there to watch plays.
Okay, well there you have. Yeah, so how far are you from Hollywood?
I'm not far at all.
Oh, okay, I lied.
Maybe
then it's like
an hour and a half with traffic, but on a good day, if a good day exists in California, an hour.
Okay, yeah. So, well, that's true. I always forget that, like, you're not that far from where I lived when I was in California and from where you grew up in California. So it's like, I don't know. To me, California is just one long, vast thing, and I have no knowledge of
California
where anything is.
has a lot.
Yeah, it just does.
You have northern and you have southern. Everyone forgets the central.
That's correct.
The Chinese Hollywood is the same county as me.
Oh, amazing.
So,
okay, well, great. Yeah. So, wow, this is even cooler. All right, so here we have it. So it opened in 1927, Grauman's Chinese Theater, and it is
Mhm.
one of Hollywood's most iconic landmarks. And since the very beginning, it's played host to like major movie premieres. Its forecourt is famously paved, of course, with like the concrete tiles featuring the handprints and footprints and whatever signatures of celebrities. We all know these things. And besides
Mhm.
moviegoers and stars, are there also perhaps some ghosts wandering the aisles? Ooh. The answer is yes. So, the
Yeah, I wouldn't
Chinese
doubt it.
theater, but of course. So, the Chinese theater was the brainchild of a showman named Sid Grauman, who had previously built actually two other Los Angeles theaters, the $1 Million Theater and the Egyptian Theater. I don't know why he picked these names at all, but here we are. So at the or at the time, not at the same time, at the time, it cost him $2 million to build, and there were a number of objects like these temple bells and like this heaven dog statue that were actually imported from China for this theater, which is like crazy. So it officially opened May 18th, 1927, with the world premiere of Cecil DeMille's The King of Kings. And there are some different stories about how the cement footprint tradition started, but it tends to involve a movie star accidentally stepping in wet cement outside of the theater.
Of
Anyway,
course.
that's like,
Accidentally.
yeah,
Sure.
right, sure. So that's just a little background for everybody, but I'm just going to kind of go straight to the spooky stuff because there's several different, like, supposed ghosts and whatever. So here we are. So when the theater was first built, Grauman apparently had secret rooms built where he could entertain his celebrity friends, and there was like a buzzer system that was set up to like allow access to these rooms or whatever. And the rooms were eventually sealed and all the buzzers disconnected, but a theater employee in the 90s stated that he still heard the buzzers going off for weeks inside of the blocked off rooms. Spooky. What if they
Mm.
accidentally buried somebody alive?
I mean, that's definitely a
I
possibility at
mean,
this point.
like, oh Lord. All right. So anyway, so the employees beyond this, of course, they could also say that they hear the ringing buzzers and creaking doors like throughout the theater halls, and workers have reported many like general haunted happenings, from like sudden pockets of like cold air to these unexplainable sounds, and just like this like spookalabookala feeling of being watched when no one else is around. Of course, all of our traditional spooky, scary skeleton things.
Yep.
Um, there are a few ghosts rumored to hang around the theater. So there's a legend that there was a. Oh, sorry, my headphones were bothering my glasses, which were bothering my ears. So there was a legend that says that there was this disgruntled stagehand named Fritz, and he apparently hung himself backstage. He was
Ooh.
just like, yeah, he was like wildly unhappy, and he did that. And now he roams the halls and he rearranges furniture and he bangs on the walls. And people have seen him, and they often mistake Fritz for Victor Killian, who was a famous
Ooh.
actor of the silent period who was murdered in his apartment only one block from the Chinese theater. And I'm going to get to him in a hot second because I'm covering him
Okay.
as well. So we've got Fritz, the disgruntled stagehand. Same. There's also Annabelle, which is a little
That
girl.
name.
Why
That
is it
name.
always Annabelle? Like, always. When it's a little girl ghost, it's always Annabelle. So, anyway, she's sometimes seen skipping down the halls, and she has, like, all of these, like, old fashioned, like, skirts on, and, like, you can hear, like, the rustling of her skirts sometimes, and nobody's around. Nobody has, like, any idea where this chick came from, or how or why she ended up haunting, like, the Chinese theater. But supposedly like people have gone on tours and seen her and stuff. So she just like is hanging out. She's having a good old time at the theater by herself. I don't know. Good for Annabelle, you know.
She's just doing her own thing.
She
She's
is.
fine. Don't
That's
worry about
fine.
Annabelle.
For sure. So in more recent times, I mean quote unquote recent, this isn't like particularly recent, but anyway, the forecourt became haunted as well. And so this is about actor Victor Killian. And he was best known as the Fernwood Flasher on Mary Hartman. Uh, and Mary Hartman, so this guy, he was beaten to death in his apartment near the theater in 1979. Although some reports say it was
Hmm.
1982, so we got a few years difference there. I couldn't tell you why. So anyway, while enjoying like a drink at a nearby bar, this actor supposedly struck up a conversation with a stranger, and then authorities believe that the two of them left the bar together and went to Killian's apartment, and it was here that the actor's like badly beaten body was discovered the following day, and it just like dead. Yeah, I know. He
Did
just
she
had like
mess him up?
He got fucked up. Yeah. So
Ooh.
his apartment, like I said before, is located just a block away from the Chinese theater, and it had also been like burglarized. So whoever did this also just like stole a bunch of shit. But anyway, his killer was never found. But it's said that Killian has never given up his pursuit of the man. They're saying it was a man who killed him. His
Okay then.
ghost is seen walking the route from the Chinese theater to his old apartment, most likely hoping the murderer will return to the scene. So you can just see this guy walking on the
So
street.
I need to go walk the streets of Hollywood.
You do. I know. And apparently he also like when people see him, he often has this like confused expression while he's walking around and it's like, well, yeah, I guess I probably would too cuz I mean,
I mean, he's probably looking at everyone. Did you kill me? Did
did
you
you
kill
kill
me?
me?
I would be.
Did you kill
I think
me?
I would imagine that he has a confused face while doing that.
Yeah, for sure. And so, yeah, today the theater is officially known as the TCL Chinese Theater. And in
Hmm.
addition to being a venue for premieres, it's also an operating first run cinema. So you can buy a ticket still and watch a movie in like these very like opulent and like fancy surroundings, which I didn't know that. I thought it was only for premieres and shit at this point.
Nope. I did know
Yeah.
that.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Have you ever gone to one there?
Not the Chinese theater, but like, for instance, for my birthday, we went to see Rent and like the
Yeah.
Adobe Theater. That's where the Academy Awards and like all of
Yeah.
that's held, and it was kind of cool just kind of sitting in there.
That is
It's
cool. Yeah.
different, yeah.
You're like, wow, somebody
But yeah,
famous is
everything in
sat here.
Hollywood, if they can make a ticket off of it, they're
Yeah.
gonna, they're gonna,
Fair enough.
they're
That's
gonna do what they
showbiz,
gotta do.
baby.
Oh yeah, so Hollywood is a working machine.
That's it. And yeah, the theater beyond that, it also offers guided walking tours, I guess, of both the haunted and non-haunted variety. So,
Mm.
that's what I've got about this crazy theater. So we've got a few ghosts just like hanging around there. I'd personally, I don't know which would bother me the most, hearing the buzzers or seeing the little girl. I feel like the kid ghosts would just like get me every time.
I think Kid Ghosts just kind of like for
They're
everyone.
like, yeah, they're inherently spookalabook.
But like, I think maybe she's just like looking for someone to hang out with too.
Yeah, maybe, which is
Could
like
be
kind
wrong.
of kind of sad. Maybe like I wonder what happens if you leave like a little popcorn there or something. Like maybe she likes a little snacky poo.
Ooh, snacky snack.
A little snacky. Yeah. And I mean this the stagehand, I guess my question is, well, I guess I'm going to answer my own question because it says she's wearing like these old-fashioned skirts and stuff. I was like, how can you tell if it's like how
Her.
can you tell if it's a ghost or just like somebody else running around? Because like I went to Anna a long while back, covered this theater that's in New York, and I've
Hmm.
been there before to see some Broadway shows. And like, how many times did I maybe walk past the ghost and I was just like, oh, like it's just
Just
somebody
didn't
dressed funny
know.
because this is fucking New York and people wear whatever the fuck they want. Like,
Yeah. And I
you
mean,
know,
same thing goes for LA though.
it does exactly.
LA
So it's like, how
Hollywood,
do you
people are gonna
know?
wear what they want to wear, and you don't know. Are you a ghost, or do you just dress like that?
Exactly. Like, so how do you, how does one tell? We just don't know. Like, how am I going to be able to tell if it's like the disgruntled stagehand walking around versus just like, I don't know,
Just a
like a,
regular disgruntled employee?
yeah, or I don't know, somebody who's just dressed like a little, like, ye old fashioned because they want to. I don't know.
Because that's how they identify.
Yeah.
The world may never know.
So I guess like
I'm
all
gonna
this,
question everything now.
I
Are you
know,
a
right? Like,
ghost?
my whole reality is like, is that a person? Is it a ghost? We just don't fucking know.
You know, you have said several times, I just want to see ghosts. I
I,
try.
I
And who knows,
know.
maybe this entire time you've been seeing them.
I know, maybe my dumb ass has. Like, maybe I full on had a conversation with one at that theater or whatever, and I just didn't fucking realize it.
Yeah, like solid possibility.
So now I just, like, I don't know what to think. I don't know. I'm unsettled. But that is Grauman's Chinese theater and its various hauntings for everybody. So it's a
Well,
little,
thank you
little,
very much for sharing with us. I couldn't
yeah.
think of the
Well,
word just now.
you're like, thank you very much for whatever the fuck that was. I think when I finally do get to come out and visit, maybe we should take a tour,
Oh no, we should totally do that.
right? I
Because
think
it
it would
would
be
be easy.
fun.
You know what's hysterical? When I moved out of California when I was like 19, and I started working at the hotel on base, everyone's like, "Oh, you're from California. Well, have you seen this and have you seen that? And do you know anybody?" And I'm like, I live in a suburb of LA. And at that time had never gone to the Hollywood Walk of Fame, never saw the stars and the handprints and all that. No.
Yeah.
That was just like, because that's a tourist thing.
Yeah.
Right? And then I think I was 21 and my sister wanted to go to the La Brea tar pits for her birthday. And I was like, oh, look, I'm finally seeing them.
Check. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. I remember when I went to Australia, one of the things that we did is we went to like a school for a day. And when people found out that I was from New Jersey and that was like next to New York City, they were like, everybody kept asking me if I knew Paris Hilton, like of all people. And I was like, no, I absolutely do
Such
not
a
know
random
Paris Hilton.
celebrity to pick.
I know, and then just like that just gives everybody a solid reference for like the time period at which I visited Australia. It was like the early 2000s when it was the hot, like the tippy top of the that's hot era, you know.
Ooh, that was a really good impression.
Thank you. Yes, I'm taking my show on the road.
Is it just me? Like when I was in Australia, people would try to imitate a U.S. accent kind of a thing, and everyone sounded like they were in the Deep South. Did anyone ever try to do that with you, and did they sound like the Deep South?
No, but I love that. But when in the same trip, we hopped over to New Zealand for a bit, and I stayed with a family. And I remember asking them in the car when they picked me up, I was like, so do I have an accent? And they were like, oh yeah. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. That's the first time anybody ever told me that an accent.
So it's hysterical. So my godmother is from New Zealand, right? She's been in my life forever, right? And I've always said she has an accent. It's clear to me, right? When I was 16, I went to New Zealand with her, and it was very clear to me she no longer had an accent.
I know.
Because at that point, she'd been living in the U.S. for 12, 13, 14 years, something like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So, like, yes, she still had an accent, but compared to her family...
Right. Right.
Which was a little sad but funny all at the same time.
I love that. I love that so much. And then like when they said that I had an accent, like I sat there for a second and I was like, oh my God, it probably sounds so ugly compared to like how their accents sound to me.
Right.
Because I could listen to that shit all day. No problem. Like, just keep on talking, baby. Yeah. And
and
meanwhile,
because of
like
my godmother, she'll like there's certain things that I say because of her. It's not garage, it's garage. It's things like that. And I remember being there and her brother had asked me for the torch, and it took me a second to realize, oh, he's asking for a flashlight.
They're not all Indiana Jones just walking around.
Yeah, and then he was like, oh, yeah, grab a water out of the chili bin.
The chili bin? That's adorable.
It's a cooler. And I'm like, forever it's a chili bin. This sounds so much cooler than a cooler.
The chili bin? That's adorable.
Everyone
what the fuck are we doing?
The US. That's my opinion.
Long story short, we suck, and what are we doing? And we've come to this conclusion several times throughout this podcast history. So there's just one more piece of evidence that we don't call coolers chili bins, and that seals it for me. That's it.
It's the little things.
I love it. Anyway, everybody, this was kind of like a short, sweet, sassy, spooky episode, and I love that for us. So
I do too. I feel like it was that short, sweet, sassy, upbeat episode we needed after last week.
Yeah, because last week was heavy as shit. So
very, very
heavy as shit. We're just gonna. I need to get. I need a nap. I need a nap. Okay, so. All right, everybody. So I'm glad this wasn't a heavy as shit episode, and I hope that your week ahead isn't heavy as shit either. So, yeah, and watch out for ghosties. Of course, if anybody's like visited either of these locations by any chance, if you're listening, like let us know.
Oh, yeah, please let us know.
Would love to hear. We have our email in the description as well. And if you haven't visited these locations, but you have topics or you have stories or what have you, I'm still holding on to one listener story. I'm waiting for like one or two more to come in so we can do a listener's episode. I love those. Ooh. So hit us please. And that's all on my end. So should we wrap this mother up?
I guess so.
All right. Well
until next time.
I get to say it. Strange. Oh, I didn't do my accent the whole time. Strange.